Hello everyone, welcome to the review. It is 10:06 p.m. Came out of theater after watching Civil War, the 2024 dystopian war film directed by Alex Garland, starring Kirsten Dunst, Wagner Moura, Kaylee Spaney. And before I get into the details of this review, be sure to hit the subscribe button below and spread to your words of fans and family if you like. And I want to go ahead and state that it will be spoiler free. And this review is not going to focus on any form of political ideology. It is simply expressing my analysis as to what I thought about the film itself. Civil War is a story that is focusing on the consequential nature of what could potentially happen if a modernized civil war was to occur in our in our time, in our lifetime right now. And it's very shocking that they released this film in such a contentious atmosphere, given what is occurring 7 months from now. And I'm going to go ahead and say that it is one of the more intense, raw, emotional, haunting experiences that I've ever watched when it came to a wartime film. It's not to say that there have been no other war stories that haven't been as haunting. There was just something very unsettling about the presentation of this feature. It just gave you a pure, unapologetic perspective as to the consequences that would occur if this were to come to fruition. Kirsten Dunst's character, her name is Lee. It portrays this iconic photographer who is specifically a wartime photographer who has captured all these memorable images throughout the years and with as this war has been waging, and she is able to become detached from the job and seeing all these different types of horror and torture and death and violence and blood, and for her to be able to compartmentalize her those particular emotions is what really drives home that this is a character who has seen some of the horrors of life. She has seen the horrors of war, and you see it in her face. It's very weary and just gritty, and she just has this. Kirsten Dunst has always been a marvelous actress, but for her to be able to convey those emotions of fear, detachment, isolation, confusion, sadness, she does it all with remarkable ease. Wagner Moura portrays her colleague, who is more of a reactionary type of individual who reacts first, asks questions later, and that is what initially gets them into trouble at sometimes, because he is more interested in trying to capture the story, the visual, rather than understanding that the journey that they're about to take is going to uh, create significant forms of chaos and fear. Kaylee Spaney plays the character Jessie, who idolizes Kirsten Dunst's character. She wants to be a wartime photographer herself, and she portrays this young, naive, innocent, completely green everywhere across the board, and she more or less is horrified by what is happening before her eyes. When it comes to her perspective, as she is seeing type of all this type of chaos that is unfolded before her eyes, she is unable to process it because it's foreign to her, and she absolutely nails it. But it's just she gives the most realistic performance that I could possibly imagine when it comes to a rookie photographer. When there was one quote that I heard in describing this film is think The Walking Dead without zombies, and that is a perfect representation as to what I felt about it as I was watching this story unfold. It's very, as I said, it's very disturbing and haunting and chilling and cold. It's very difficult to put into words because it's one of those type of films that you have to watch unfold on a big screen. You simply can't sit there and stream it or watch it at home on television in order to fully find yourself immersed within the chaos that the story is presenting. And even though this is not so much of a spoiler because you do see it in the trailer, the true highlight of this film, and he's only in it for one scene, is Jesse Plemons' performance. He is by far one of the most terrifying. He gives one of the most terrifying performances, and he's only in one scene, and that was severely disappointing to me because he's another underrated actor. And when you watch this scene happen, let me go ahead and tell you, you were going to be on the edge of your seat because he absolutely nails it. He is by far one of the most intimidating forces in this story, and I have to say, I wish there was more of him because I just want to see more of what he was going to do and say, and it's by far one of the most expected and yet unexpected, terrifying performances that you'll ever witness on the big screen. there are certain elements of the film that does present more of an unrealistic scenario, and I'm not gonna go into specifics there, but towards the end it gets very, very, very unrealistic. But it doesn't necessarily detract you from fully finding yourself immersed with the intensity. And as far as that's concerned, I thought that the film was very good. It was very tightly and precise as far as the feature and the visualizations were concerned. Very gritty, raw, dark, emotional, bloody, violent. It's definitely not for children. And if anything, it's more, as I said, it's a cautionary tale. So do not go in expecting it to lean one way or the other. It is basically telling you a neutral story, and that's the beautiful concept about this film. It's not attempted to beat anyone over the head as to what side to go with. It is all about having the audience formulate their own opinion while also having them understand that this happening is nothing to romanticize, and that is, to me, the core message about the film. With great visual, like I say, great cinematography as far as the visuals is concerned, haunting imageries, and all across the board you see certain snapshot images of the aftermath uh, when it comes to these Western forces aligning and engaging in combat with one another. And I have to say, it's definitely probably one of the most heaviest films that you will watch in 2024. But at the end of the day, my final rating for Civil War, I'm gonna go ahead and give it a 9 out of 10 and two thumbs up. Highly recommend it. If you have watched the movie, let me know what you thought about it in the comment section, and please feel free to join my Discord server if you want to. And that is my review of Civil War, and I hope you all enjoyed it. Take care and peace out.